existing logging road.
Is this asking for trouble as far as somebody buys that and decides to build there? Because they wouldn't have to cross wetlands, so they wouldn't have to go through that process, but then they'd be on this like 50-foot wide piece of property. I mean, I guess it's not 50 feet wide, it's 80 feet wide.
This is 50 at the road, it's a little wider as you go back. I mean, they'd have the choice of building wherever they wanted to, if they were to buy the whole thing. But that's not really the problem I'm trying to solve with this.
Right, I mean, I guess if...
It's really an access strip.
Right.
And we widened it up primarily just so that there's comfortable room on either side of the wooden room.
So let us suppose that somebody, this is more an exercise than it is grilling the hell out of you, but like let us suppose that somebody really wanted to build on this narrow strip. You need a certain radius for well and a certain radius for septic that don't Venn diagram one another.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to get it without, they would have to get the well releases from probably both abutting properties. I don't think you could, I guess you might be able to do it with just one. I think it's more than 75 feet wide.
Is it a 75-foot radius or diameter?
Radius.
Okay, so yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, so conceivably it could be done. I actually know somebody in Canaan right now who's in the process of getting a design literally on a 50-foot strip, which is it's sort of that situation. It's supposed to act as how bad. But anytime anybody comes in for the building permit, they've got to meet the appropriate regulations applicable. So
hypothetically, yes.
If they can do it, that's their issue on anyone else's. Whether it's more desirable or less desirable really isn't our place to decide. But yeah, they'd have to meet. Obviously, they'd have to meet the state's requirements for the septic. But anyway, so that's what we would like to bring before the board and have a hearing on next month if we can do that.
How about all these walls?
Yeah,
double stone
there
walls.
was well, that's the old road. It connected Turnpike Road out to
Millbrook
Millbrook Road.
Yeah, right.
And there was a couple of farms out there back in the day. So there's a bunch of walls up in there. But it was discontinued by town vote, and I've got the date on the plan somewhere. I think it was maybe 1921. It just stopped being used and discontinued it. So the ownership went to the two adjacent properties. So there was no remnant rights related to it. They were completely thrown out. So it's nothing more than a boundary that happens to be where roads used to be. And that's not going to be used for any access or anything like that. Anyway, it's not.
Right.
And he's not changing the use of the camp area or anything like that. His access will still be over. He's related to the bosses somehow or another. His access will still be over that lot. The camp's been there quite a while.
So there's 2 lots to begin with?
It's 2 lots now. We're going to end up with 3 with a slightly different, boundary configuration between the 2 large lots. But again, as I usually like to do with the annexation, that's just a really super simplified sketch with a before and after up there, which just kind of helps you see what's going on without all the extra lines and chaff. So yeah, it's complicated. It looks complicated, but it really isn't that complicated. There's a lot of lines. Not the application stuff, but all the usual stuff. If you agree it's good enough to go, then use the same. I'll take care of sending the mailings out, and you'll take care of the paper.
So when we have a waiver for surveying, you're basically surveying
surveyed the entire area, that entire front area, the way out back lands I haven't done anything with, there's no reason to.
Okay.
Which is again, pretty customary for these types of projects. Lot 4 has been completely surveyed, the new boundary, the line, and the piece being transferred between the two lots has been completely surveyed.
So this new 4-acre lot, Scott, like, not only has that 50-foot strip on one side, it's got this other strip on the other side, 208 feet.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, Scott's pointing out that like this
yeah, he
is a
wanted to
2-acre
retain,
lot, hypothetically. If you were to lose your end before the wetland, you still could.
and he's not planning on selling anything right, you know, at this point in time, but he just thought it made sense to leave. He wanted the access strip around the Wood Road, and the two things, number one, he thought it made sense to have another area fronting, Turnpike Road on the big lot, but it also it's a better sell to you folks because we now have a building area that doesn't require any additional wetland permitting to access. So it's what he wanted anyway, but I would recommend it even if he didn't.
So the way the Wood Road is, it just kind of peters out. Like if this were to be used for Turnpike at this point, would you have to?
It's because it's open field in through there, so you can't. It's not a discernible track.
Oh, okay.
That's all. That's all that is.
Right, and that field contains some of the new lots, so that it could be.
Yeah. So
If these became separate ownerships, this would be able to be reached from here without encroaching on that lot.
yeah, there's the main tree line is here, the little squiggly line.
Yeah.
There's the area of brush along here, and then that opening right there is clearly where they've been going into access, but it's not really discernible through the field until you hit the trees, and then it's very clear, very obvious, and it's a very well-established logging road.
Yeah.
You could drive a truck down there until you hit the marsh, and you could probably even get across the marsh, because there's a lot of old corduroy from logging projects and stuff like that. So it's it's a situation where we're working around what's there now, as opposed to trying to create anything new.
Yeah. All right. I'm all right with it. Entertain a motion to. Well, does anyone else want to look at the application before we make a motion to accept it, or? It's pretty similar to Mitchell's.
Yeah, it's usual stuff, everything's filled out on the form. It's got the cover letter describing the project, it's got the current deeds to the property, the abutters list, and the letter from the owners authorizing my representation. So that's the standard list. And the plan itself has the north arrow and the scale and the areas and bearings and distances, all the usual stuff.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to accept the application as complete and to schedule a public hearing for October 20, what did we call it again? Sorry.
We said the 24th. Also,
Okay, we've got a motion. Anyone want to second that? All right, all in favor? All right. Okay.
So I'll get I'll get the abutter notices out, and I can email you the notice again for the paper, and I'll get my second mortgage for that ad.
Right, exactly.
So do
Well,
we have to pay for the
yeah,
notice for
right.
the public hearing, and he pays for a notice for a public hearing?
I don't think so. I think we can, if you want to gamble, that we can get our act together.
Oh, I would say, let's not take any chances, and I would say we'll do it,
Okay.
because I think the time frame is gonna get pretty dicey, I think. I mean, as of right now, it's required to be so many days before the hearing on this application. And if you're holding the hearing next month on the amendment, I mean, it can't be finished, but it can't be approved before this application comes before you formally. So I think we kind of have to do it with this.
Okay, they couldn't, okay, that's
I
fine.
certainly wouldn't want to take any chances on
Okay.
there being an issue with that. So you've got you've got the 4 copies of the application there. I'll run a couple extras as usual. Next month. And I'll actually have, I'll have the tested information by then.
Okay.
And so.
Great.
All that, so.
Alright, so I'm just filling this stuff out. Okay, so I'm putting October 9th as the butter notification deadline, which is 10 business days.
Yeah, I always try to have a little push and build into that anyway, if he does. So
Yeah, okay.
I'll make sure I get those out and you'll have receipts as proof. So I'll have just one more real brief thing to chat with you about if I'm ready for it.
Okay, looks good. Alright, what else, Scott?
So, I'm gonna keep you guys busy here for a while.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to double your pay. We discussed the project that Bobby Center would like to do a couple of months ago.
Right.
And that is on the verge of moving forward, and I don't have any new drawings or anything at this point, but we're moving forward based on the informal opinion of the board that getting the road base up to a point where the road agent could approve it and sign off on it for now.
Yep.
And then resurfacing could be tied to building permits on any individual lots and that sort of thing, so, I mean, if the board's comfortable with that, still, that's what we'll do. If the board requires more done, then we can do that, but that was kind of what we had talked about. But we'll definitely, he's been working on the road some, the base will definitely be up to snuff.
I think that was the main thing, because the width and everything, someone dumps a bunch of stuff in their dooryard there and makes it so you can't even
Yep.
build a road. If the road's already there, it doesn't matter whether it's got gravel on it or not.
Right, and well, yeah, I mean, there's no drainage issues, it's very
Right.
gentle slope, it's a great place for it. So what I can do is I can get in touch with the road agent, perhaps, and have, or do we have a road agent now, or?
We have an acting road agent, Jeff Joyce.
Yeah, so I can get in touch with the acting road agent, have review the site with them, and if I get their blessing, that should satisfy the board that it's adequate. So everyone's comfortable with that. So with that all in mind, and the intention will be to submit the application, to get it in your hands at the next meeting, and I realize the holidays may be a little wacky for a while, but
We'll get it.
definitely want to be
Figure it out.
control over that, so we'll get the application in your hands on that one, next month will be the plan.
Alright.
So,
Sounds
keep
good.
you from sitting around twiddling your thumbs for a couple more meetings.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little business.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
So this is, Bob Center.
Reeser Hill?
Yeah. Yep.
Any questions of me?
Oh, thanks,
Not
Scott.
right now.
All right, appreciate your time, thank you for
Yeah.
looking at these with me, and we'll see you next month.
Okay, Paul and Alex and Sabrina and Steve, I guess.
Yep.
Is there anything that people who weren't here for the capital improvements should know? Is there a recap of any sort?
I can recap, if we like. We talked about the fact that that letter went out to the department heads, presumably with the survey question, the one page, please tell us what your capital improvement suggestions are. We did not get any responses back from any of the department heads. We had invited the department heads to attend tonight, didn't have any of them attend tonight as well. We decided that we should take our capital improvement plan, which currently is a spreadsheet that we received from Sarah, and start filling it out on our own. So we did that, and we identified maybe about 15 items that we think may be capital improvements, just kind of start front-loading the list to share with the department heads. We talked about the meeting coming up on October 8th, which is the selectmen's meeting, regarding the budget, and we felt it would be appropriate for us to attend, or at least one or two of us to attend, and just make our presence known. Steve thought that the selectmen would be okay with us saying, this is who we are, please give us your capital improvement suggestions, and that's it. Did I miss something that?
No, that all covers it.
Nice.
Oh, fairly productive.
That's great. I like the front-loading concept.
Yes.
It nudges.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds better than spoon feeding, doesn't it?
Spoon feeding, that was my term. Sabrina came up with a better term.
It's awesome. Okay. Steve? Select board?
Well, it's budget season, we're in the middle of doing the budget. I don't have much to report. Elections coming up, we've had the primary, and we're gonna have the general election. That's a lot of activity. The ambulance department's gonna have their ambulance delivered this weekend, I think.
Ooh.
Doesn't mean it's gonna be put into service, but it means it's gonna be ready to outfit with the equipment necessary to put into service. So it's a big major step that's coming up. So that's a red letter day. I remember when the last ambulance was brand new. It was pretty exciting. Seems
Back in
like
the
it wasn't
70s?
that long ago. No, it wasn't that long. It was in the 2000s.
So,
They get old fast, and time flies.
All right. Any other considerations tonight? Anything from the public? Wonderful.
I have curious.
Sure.
I thought one of the functions of the planning board was to keep the master plan updated. Do you have any plans to do something?
This is not the first time you've asked, Catherine. We're doing the best we can. We recently talked to the Upper Valley Lake Sunapee Planning Commission to ask what they might be able to offer. And I think frankly we kind of got overwhelmed because we're not quite ready to raise that amount of money and put in that amount of effort quite yet. Maybe that will change. We would encourage people who want to spearhead a master plan to run for the board. So that's what I can offer. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.